Welcome, everyone. How are we? How are we? Thursday night. Got one more night, one more day, and it's over. Everyone, please like, follow, and share. I'd really appreciate it. It's everybody's weekend. Hope everybody's been doing well. Um, I took a little bit of time off, had some things I had to do and take care of, but we're back, and boy, um, we'll just jump right into it. Matt Gaetz pulled himself out of it, which he didn't have. I believe there was like five Republicans that wouldn't even thought about voting for him in the first place. But just a few moments ago, probably the last 45 minutes or so, Trump has announced Pam Bondi as the next Attorney General of the United States. She was a prosecutor for nearly 20 years. For too long, the partisan Department of Justice has been weaponized against me and other Republicans. Not anymore. Pam will refocus the DOJ to its intended purpose of fighting crime and making America safe again. I have known Pam for many years. She is smart and tough and is an American first fighter who will do a terrific job as Attorney General. Well, I do agree with that, but let's take a little bit of a look and let's see exactly who she is, because I mean she's a badass, guys. She is a freaking badass, and she is highly involved in trafficking. Let's pull up this. Let's pull up things. Take just a second. All right, here we go. Well, let's take a minute and let's listen to exactly what she had to say at one of the Trump rallies.
Well, I was a prosecutor. I was a homicide prosecutor for 18 years. I was Florida's first female attorney general, and I was special advisor to Donald Trump, Office of White House Counsel, but most importantly, I'm his friend. And I was in that White House, and we all know he surrounded himself with a lot of brilliant women. How many women here tonight support Donald Trump? And backstage, look at these beautiful women sitting behind me. Sorry, guys, in the front row. Donald Trump. That was the greatest gift Mark Cuban could give Donald Trump, I think, by saying something so ignorant and stupid. So I have a message for Mark Cuban from all of us here tonight. Underestimate us. This is going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. I mean, she is a badass. We're going to dig a little bit deep into it and talk a little bit about it. But the news is going crazy over this. Let's take a listen to what one of the outlets had to say.
On paper, her state level experience is much closer to what presidents in both parties have sought at the DOJ. That's a huge difference with Matt Gaetz. The political part, though, is different. Right. And then what I bring to you is, and Juanita mentioned it, you have that political history, and you have a proposed number two, a deputy attorney general who recently handled Donald Trump's criminal defense. So if this were the team, and they have to go through vetting and confirmation, but if this were the team, this would be two of the most politically defensive lawyers of the personal capacity of an incoming president we've ever seen running DOJ at the same time.
All right, I completely agree. And quite frankly, my thought is that after Gaetz dropped out, it would be essentially somebody from Trump's legal team. It would be like a Jay Sekulow or somebody like that. I assume that's where he would get these people from. Unlike William Barr, even going back to when we were all kids and like Janet Reno, right? Occasionally attorney generals try to behave like they are not the personal lawyer of the president of the United States. That is completely out the window. Pam Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic
Yeah,
side or
right.
anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
So see, this woman, we're gonna talk a little bit about her background and what she's into. One hell of a woman, one smart woman who knows so much about the law and has fought for 20 years um, against this corrupt justice system, the two-tier justice system that we have. And they just want to talk down about women as if we're nothing. They've already tried to degrade us and let men want to go dress like women and use women's bathrooms. You will never be a woman. You will never be a woman. I don't care what you have done to you. God made man and he made woman. You will always be a woman and you'll always be a man. It's that simple. I mean, this is mental illness. Back in the day, people would have been sent straight with straight jackets. And then they want to tell children, hey, if you want hormone blockers, puberty blockers, if you want that, we'll do that. And we won't let your parents know. Them days are over. It's been a sigh of relief. I guess I've took a little bit of a peaceful break because I've been at it for so long, for so many years, constantly. Um, Trying to get the truth out, wake people up, let them see, our kids and our grandkids, the generation, that would be the generation that pays for the actions that are done today. And you got to think bigger, broader, further, because it's not about us. It's not about just us. It's not about just one person. It's about the future of our kids. It's about the future of their kids. And further, if the good Lord above allows us all to live um, that long, it's about it's about that. I mean, at the end of the day, and people just seem to really not care. And this Biden administration, they really went totally in left freaking field. I mean, left freaking field. Let's take a little bit and look and let's see um, what her background is. March in 2024, Operation March Madness, illegal alien human trafficking network involving U.S. government. September 2023, Florida teacher, Disney employees, 219 were arrested in human trafficking operations. June 2023, Operation Maze Monsters, horrific child porn bust. June of 2023, three-generation drug sting, enough fentanyl to kill 100,000 people. February of 2023, hundreds arrested in large Polk County human trafficking sting, USF player among 213 that were arrested. September 2022, child sex sting involving Disney employees. September of 2022, Operation Fall Hall, a human trafficking operation. August of 2022, huge drug trafficking operations team. June of 2022, Operation Child Protector to Second, which involved children and some Disney employees. March of 2022, Operation March Sadness, large human trafficking bust. January of 2022, large child porn seller that was a busy business. August of 2021, Operation Child Protector, large human child trafficking bust involving children. April of 2021, Operation Dirty Water, $50 million of meth was seized. March of 2020, undercover operation online child predators arrested. December of 2019, Operation Santa's Naughty List, human trafficking and prostitution operation. November of 2019, child porn sting operation, some involving Disney employees. Disney's involved in a lot of this, isn't it? May of 2019, Operation No Spring Fling, a prostitution and child sex and pornography sting. December of 2018, Naughty Not Nice, large prostitution sting. Some were human trafficking. April of 2018, undercover child sex sting. October of 2017, Operation No Tricks, No Treats, large scale human trafficking sting. May of 2017, undercover sex sting, some involving children. March of 2017, Operation March Madness, large human trafficking bust. In December of 2014, human trafficking sting. The list goes on and on and on. Let's listen to what they had to say about this.
These criminals made one very big mistake. They wound up in Polk County.
And I just gave you a list of just a little bit of the bio of what she has stood up and done. And Trump, I'm going to tell you, I believe Trump purposely put Gates up. He knew the pushback that would come. Now this is my theory. Okay, Trump doesn't do something. He's playing chess. Yeah, guys, he's playing chess. He's so far ahead. Where everybody else sit back here playing their little checkers. He knew the pushback would come up with Matt Gaetz. He has got a plan with Matt Gaetz. What that is, I don't know. Could he possibly want to put him up for Supreme Court justice? Think about it, because they've already pulled out the dirt. They've already thrown the dirt. They've already thrown the whatever they could. And we've seen the outcome of that. And now he made room. Okay, we're going to put this badass up. It's always like, if you're looking here, but keep your focus here. I got some shit going on here. I got the real shit going on here. And it's fixing to play. Smart man. So freaking smart. And do you think for 1 minute she's not going to tear these 300-something thousand children and find out where they've been and what has been going on? She is going to hit the ground running with this shit. She is.
Florida ranks 3rd nationally in calls for help for human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I knew we needed all hands on deck. Businesses and hospitals to spot it, our great law enforcement to stop it, and tougher penalties to punish it. We're taking on Medicaid fraud, pill mills, gangs, and more. And I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Pam Bondi, our Attorney General.
Ooh. Whoa, babies. Oh, I bet the Democrats are shaking in their shoes, their boots, their beds, their PJs, whatever. They are shaking. They are scurrying. I mean, Kamala, she's in Hawaii right now. That's where Oprah Winfrey is. I wonder what them two are doing. She's on her little vacation there. Zero silence. And that's the way it should be. But we do have where the Democrats are actually trying really hard to get as many justices of nominations put up as they can before the transfer of power takes place. What have they stated about the transfer of power? Will there be any pushback? You know, we had Raskin running his little mouth around saying he would invoke Civil War powers and other shit. Well, this little pissant, Merrick Garland, let's see what his little piss ass said.
They're increasingly expressing concerns about the upcoming transfer of power and the potential danger of another January 6th. Do you share those concerns at all?
I think our prosecutions have made clear what we think about people who try to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power, which is an essential and fundamental element of our democracy. I quibble about whether we have 1,500 or slightly less than 1,500, but we have way more than 1,400 now prosecutions, and we have a substantial number of convictions. I think that's shown to everybody how seriously we take an effort to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power. The last January 6th, the coming January 6th, and every January 6th after that. I want to make clear to anybody who's thinking about interfering with that, they can see what we've done with respect to the January 6th prosecutions, and the Justice Department will continue to protect our democracy.
And they will. So will he hold true to what he has to say? Who knows? Who really knows? Because, we deal with a bunch of them that lie. They're just continuously telling lies. But at this point, we have to wait, and we have to find out, if we can trust what's being said. But this country, I tell you what, it's like, I don't know. Do you guys feel like it's a major overhaul? I mean, from the moment Trump won and painted the United States red, let's just say that. The whole United States, and I guarantee you the states where they didn't have to have any ID to prove that they voted, those were the only states that Camel Toe Harris even actually made it to a certain point. I guarantee if we actually went back and we did a count, those states would probably be red. Maybe one of them might not, or maybe close, but I don't know. For it to turn as red as it did, the American people spoke. And for the people, those little things on The View, they've been having to do legal notes lately. They've been having to come back and rebuttal because they've been saying all this crap about Matt Gaetz and other people. Well, just before the show, Sonny had to do a rebuttal and do another legal note because they said bullshit again. I'm loading it right now. And it seems to me maybe their ratings aren't good anymore, and maybe this is the only way they can get ratings is by pushing misinformation and lying and their bullshit. And they noticed people love seeing Sunny choke on what she had to say, and it was like yesterday, it was so terrifying to her. It was like, I mean, I don't know. She didn't move, but she had to do another legal night. Let's take a look.
I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
Or really long music. We'll be right back.
So see, I believe they're purposely, they probably got lawsuits against them because I don't think Trump or none of these people are playing anymore. I mean, for 4.5 years, we for almost 4 years, we were kind of, I know I was pulled through the mud. I've had 60 something accounts on TikTok, Instagram takes me down all the time. I get took down everywhere. So thank God I have this because it's the only place I can run my mouth and tell you the truth and speak freely and not be censored. And it's really cool. And Elon, I'm actually thankful to everyone on X that we can actually do that here too, as long as you're not being violent or anything. But these ladies on The View, they were spreading so much misinformation. They were spreading fear and propaganda, and they were trying to make people believe, oh, Trump's going to put the military out to deport Americans or to arrest Americans. If you ladies were that terrified and you believed your bullshit that you were spewing, why are you still on The View? Trump's president-elect. Why ain't you on that first plane ticket out of here? Because if I really felt threatened and my life was in danger and shit was going to go down, I'd already be on a plane. I'd already be out. I mean, look at Ellen. She gone. She's in England. Other people are leaving. Robert De Niro, he's out. I mean, they're jetting. These people are freaking jetting. Are they on the Diddy list? Are they on the Diddy list? I mean, what do they fear? I mean, you ladies sat there and spew this bullshit on a daily basis. And the American people, myself, I'm tired of hearing your bullshit. I'm tired of hearing you tell lies on a man who does nothing but want to help America and do what's right by the American people. You guys censored us. You guys lied to us. You guys constantly put fear in people, and the people that actually have changed and are seeing it for what it is, thank God. But the ones that are still, you guys are responsible for some of their mental health issues. Promise you that. Because, you guys are right about one thing. Telling the truth is very important. Spreading misinformation can be dangerous. And what you ladies are doing is spreading bullshit. Okay. So, yeah, keep doing your legal notes. And eventually, the show will probably be shut down. I could tell Whoopi was about done with it. She had spoke earlier tonight about how she would shut the whole show down if people didn't go along with what she had to say. So I'm sure tomorrow morning, well, there might be one or two more legal notes that they have to talk about. It's ridiculous. They went after us, and I'm a Christian. I'm a forgiving person, and I try to be patient and kind and respectful as much as I can. But, there comes a point in time when you kind of got to stand up for yourself, and you kind of just got to say, enough's enough. You ladies could sit there and spew the bullshit. Well, hello, this country crazy over here, and I'm going to give it back to you because I'm going to promise you, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I was married to a narcissist for 10 years, so there's really nothing you could say or do that would hurt me that I hasn't already been done. So let's roll, bitches. Here's a video of January 6th, and I pray to God all of our January 6th prisoners completely get pardoned, get released. They deserve to be released. And the court prosecution said that one of the defendants cut the tarp that was up on January 6th, and I'm going to show you a video where it shows that police were the ones who cut the tarp themselves. Nobody batted an eye at what obviously perjury of this entire court case that took place was found itself, except the defense. And one fellow ex-user said, wow, what happened to America? Integrity should reign in the courtroom. Glad to see that it is headed in the direction, but there is still much that needs to be rectified. Absolutely agree. There's so much that needs to be rectified. But let's let me find it. Just had it. Let's take a look at this video because they sat in court and said so many lies. I mean, we've already seen, Pelosi, she's guilty as shit of everything. She caused this. She chose this. She wanted this. But their plans. You ever heard, the Bible verse, no weapon formed against me shall prosper? How many weapons and how many fiery darts has been thrown at Trump? God has had his hedge of protection, his anointing on that man. He is a vessel working for the American people. No, I'm not saying he's God and I'm worshiping Trump. No, I have respect for Trump. But I know my Heavenly Father has placed that man in the position to do the job that this country needs. Healing and needs to turn from sin and turn to him. That is where we're at. But let's take a look at the video where they tried to say that a January 6th prisoner was the one who cut the tarp. And it was one of the reasons he got put in prison. But watch. Stand down! Stand down! Stand down! Did that look like a January 6th prisoner? That looked to me like it was Capitol Police doing that. So, yeah, I can't wait till they get, released. And then we had AOC not too long ago. She's been out there spewing her shit. She talks in riddles, talks in circles. She doesn't even know what the hell she's doing these days. But recently, she had already went zero silent, said she was leaving X, and said she was going to start doing email. And everybody she was talking to, I guess liberals, and they were wanting to know what was the plan. What are we going to do? And she said, hold up. And I don't know how she said it verbatim, but it pretty much meant we wasn't expecting the red wave that took place. So it's going to take a minute to figure it out. Well, here is another scenario of what she had to say about Mike Johnson and everyone, and Nancy Pace saying about men using men's restrooms and women using women's restroom. And that if you're a man and you're pretending and you think you're a woman with that mental illness, you need to go in the men's restroom. Okay? If you got a tallywhacker, go freaking use the men's restroom. Okay? You're not a woman. You're not a freaking woman. But here's what she had to say.
What Nancy Mace and what Speaker Johnson are doing are endangering all women and girls. Because if you ask them, what is your plan on how to enforce this? They won't come up with an answer. And what it inevitably results in are women and girls who are primed for assault because people are going to want to check their private parts in suspecting who is trans and who is cis and who's doing what. And so the idea that Nancy Mace wants little girls and women to drop trow in front of who? An investigator? Who would that be? In order, because she wants to suspect and point fingers at who she thinks is trans is disgusting. It is disgusting. And frankly, all it does is allow these Republicans to go around and bully any woman who isn't wearing a skirt because they think she might not look woman enough. People have a right to express themselves, to dress how they want, and to be who they are. And if a woman doesn't look woman enough to a Republican, they want to be able to inspect her genitals to use a bathroom. It's disgusting. And everybody, no matter how you feel on this issue, should reject it completely. What are they doing? They're doing this so that Nancy Mace can make a buck and send a text and fundraise off an email. They're not doing this to protect people. They're endangering women. They're endangering girls of all kinds. And everybody should reject it. It's gross. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think AOC had put her little spin on that because I don't believe that that is factual, AOC. I think that you're out there baiting, gaslighting, putting propaganda and lies out there because you can't do that legally. You just can't do that legally. I mean, why is it such a big deal for a man? Okay? Why is it such a big deal for a man that wants to go throw a wig on, throw a dress on, to go use a bathroom where little girls are, where women are? Do you not understand the fear of women who have been assaulted, children who have been sexually abused? Do you not understand the fear that is in a woman? Because bitches, you would never know because you're not a woman. Okay, you're not a woman, you never will be. And this is a subject that really gets to me because we've all had something in our lives happen, and the last thing I want to be is in a bathroom in my stall using it. And this has happened to me. I've been in a bathroom stall, and when I've came out, there is a man at the sink. The fear that ran through me at that moment, it jolted me, it shook me. And a woman should not. Okay, OC, you talk about their rights. Shouldn't a woman have a right to be able to go take a piss in a bathroom if she wants to, change her child's diaper, take her little girl in the bathroom without having to worry about some sick, perverted man coming in there? Because I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you, if you are pushing that hard to want to come into a woman's bathroom, you got some serious shit going on up here. And all you want to do, simple, is you can't apparently get a woman. You can't apparently get a date. You can't apparently get shit because now you got to go in a woman's bathroom and get your rocks off, because that's pretty much what it is. It's that simple. That freaking simple. And I have friends who are trans. But they respect the boundaries. They respect the boundaries of a woman. Absolutely. They say they are trans and that's it. They don't want to go into a woman's bathroom. It's that simple. Why is it such a big deal that you push that? AOC, I bet you got a private bathroom in your office, don't you? How would you feel if you didn't know the person? How would you feel if you were the only female in the bathroom and you come out and there were 3 men standing there? How would you feel? Don't tell me that you would feel okay, because that's a bullshit lie. It's a bullshit lie if you say that you would be okay with that. You're full of shit. You'd be so full of shit that it is not even funny. And you just spew propaganda, you spew lies, and you're constantly doing that. And that's all you guys got. That's all you got. Well, let's take and watch this one video of a gentleman who finally took it upon himself to be free and go to his job being a woman.
And today, for the first time, I dressed fully feminine in public, in the broad light of day. It was to a luncheon at my work with the board of directors of the theater company I work for. I wore my lemon dress and my keffiyeh. And you know, it in the grand scheme of things might seem like a small victory, but you gotta let yourself celebrate your small victories. Because there's a lot of times when those big ones feel really few and far between. And right now, for me, every little victory I get is one more step that I have taken towards being fully myself, towards not hiding who I am any longer. And that feels like something to celebrate to me.
No, he seems to be like he has a genuine heart, a spirit. I didn't sense a really bad spirit in him. But these are people with some mental illness. That's all there is to it. They get some mental illness going on. I mean, yeah, all you're doing is playing dress up. All you're doing is playing dress up. You're doing what I used to do as a young child, getting in my grandmother's closet, getting her big clothes on, her dresses on, her jewelry on. You're playing dress up. And if I condone that behavior, then I'm going against what my Heavenly Father has stated. And I don't ever want to do that. Pray for you. You can hate the sin, but love the sinner. And that's what we're supposed to do. So definitely pray for you, but it's not right. I will speak the truth. It's not right. It shouldn't be happening. If you want to go and you want to wear your dresses, and you don't push it on the kids and force me to have to accept it, you do you, boo. You do you all day long. But why do you have to force it? Because that's what you're doing. You're forcing it. The LGBTQ plus community, actually, so many of them have said they wanted rights of being able to get married. They got that and they were happy with that. Well, then this administration come in and they had to do their pride parades to where you guys were standing out there actually having sex in front of children in these parades. Men used this. There were so many perverts and pedophiles there that they used those parades for a free for all to go and be able to be a pervert out in public, to be a pedophile out in public. That is what that was. That was just a way of legalizing it to where you could go out and do what you wanted to do. That's why the World Economic Forum, they want you to go easy on perverts and pedophiles. They want you to be easy on them and it be a disease. That's what it is. It's a disease. No, that's Satan. It's demonic. That's simple. It's demonic. That's all it is. Definitely going to pray for him, but use your own bathroom. Why is it such a big deal? Use the men's bathroom. It takes you what? How long does it take a man to piss? Maybe a minute or two? A woman? Why is it such a big deal? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been fine where men and women have used their own bathrooms and it's worked just fine. Let's leave it that way. Let's leave it the freak that way. And be done with it. Well, with Pam Bondi being up as the new AG, here's a little clip with DHS, the committee speaking with them about children. And do they know where they sent these kids that come across the border, or how they place these children? I've actually myself seen on the committee hearings an actual DCS worker state that they place the children with these people. They're not vetted. And how do they check up? They call them. And if they don't answer, they leave a message. Almost 200,000 unaccompanied minors were supposed to check in for a court date and have not. ISIS says that they do not have the manpower to find these individuals. 1 in 8, they're able to find 1 in 8 to process, to do that. But the rest, they don't have the manpower to do it. And this administration was betting on that because they're getting rich. They've been getting rich off of children. Organ harvesting, all of that's real, people. Adrenochrome, all of that shit's real. Every bit of it's real. You can go check out on my Telegram page, Country Crazy Chat. I have all kinds of information on there. You can go back a year and a half and you'll see some unbelievable information that is factual. I can't talk about it on here because I'm streaming on YouTube and a couple other platforms, but just go check it out and you'll understand it. But here we go.
Are you familiar that in that report, it revealed that children were pimped out by their aunt, which it turns out the aunt wasn't even related to the child, the so-called aunt. Are you familiar with that story that was in there?
There are a number of incidents that are reported in that Florida report. Some of them I can probably recall better than others. Some of them I would challenge and dispute, but that one I don't remember.
And do you remember the teenage girl that was in a house with unknown men with no private bedroom for her? Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club in Jacksonville as an address for where this child, where a child should be settled?
Congressman, as I said, I don't have the information on that Florida grand jury report in front of me. I certainly can go back and take a look at it and try to get back to you.
And these are the people who are placing with people, but they don't have any idea. They have no idea where these kids are going. They have no idea where 330,000 are, probably more at this point. I would guess it's probably more. It's probably 500,000 or more. And they have no idea. So Trump did right by putting Pam Bondi in charge because it's a big job. And I do believe things have been going on behind the scenes, and we will soon enough be seeing some differences. But what is your child reading? What are the schools? What are the people? What are they trying to teach your children? Okay. Listen to what this one lady puts out.
Yeah, you read that right. This book here is just nominated for a Prime Minister's Choice Awards, and it also won Children's Book of the Year award. When it says guide, it's not kidding. This is the author here, Miss Yumi Steins, Groomy Steins, if you will. And she's been quoted as saying it should be okay with an 8-year-old reading this book. Once again, we see the top-down effort to sexualise children. Too young for social media, not too young for a pornographic sex guide. Got it.
She's right. Because, see, if I play anything that has to do with human trafficking or anything has to do with this particular book, video, or anything on other platforms, it gets took down. I get violations. If I posted that on TikTok, anywhere else, I would get taken down. So I can't post it on platforms, okay, to get the message out that this is what they're trying to teach your children, because it is viewed as being pornographic material. It is viewed as me grooming children. But you want to teach it to children. That makes no sense. Well, it makes sense because you ain't nothing but a pedophile and grooming, and you've got this fascination with children, but you don't want people to know that because you're too much of an uproar. I'm going to tell you, leave the kids alone. But this is what they're trying to teach your children. This is what is out there. So check your libraries, check what your children are watching, check what they're reading, because this is some serious stuff, guys. This is serious, some serious stuff. Well, what? There's a lady, I saw this story yesterday. Aaliyah and Daisy. Daisy's a little girl. We all know about Gypsy Rose's story, and what she went through as a child with Munchausen's and by proxy. That is where the mother creates sickness with the child to get attention, to get financial benefits, to get whatever she needs, because she needs the fulfillment. She has that supply that she needs to get, so she would rather either have the child die eventually or create such sickness and poison in order to get what she needs. Well, there's a lady right now in the UK who has, I think, 4 or 5 children. Well, there's a little girl, she has a baby named Daisy. We'll watch her video and then I'll explain.
We were just told that our daughter's brain is covered in tumors. My baby girl, she's so little. And she is riddled with tumors. She has benign, which is an amazing part of the story, tumors all over her body. They said, don't be alarmed because she will have them in her heart, her kidneys, her lungs, her nerves, her spinal cord, her eyes. And I said, how many tumors does she have in her brain? And that's when they said there's too many to even count. Her head would just like drop and go completely floppy. And then she would come back and then it would drop again and her eyes would like roll back. She was diagnosed on Friday with epilepsy, Sunday with infantile spasms, and then Thursday with tuberous sclerosis complex. I need a hug. I need a hug.
No, you need a padded cell. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everything she just said is a lie. Every bit of it was a lie. Every single bit of it. She was purposely giving this baby value, okay, to cause this to happen to the child, and God knows what else. And how this was found out is that the nurse, one of the nurses that had continuously been taking care of this child in and out of the hospital, saw that video. So the next time they brought the child in, they did a tox screen on the child, on Daisy. And it came back with high levels and doses of Valium in her system. And so they have taken the children away. She does have a husband. The children are safe. Daisy is doing well. But the husband, Brock, he has come out and he said he didn't have any idea that this was going on, that he did push for, what happened was they gave this baby, they gave Daisy 2 2 exploratory brain surgeries because they wanted to find out what was going on with this baby, what was causing all of this, what was causing her to be this way. So they did do 2 exploratory surgeries on this child. And this mother sat here and had a GoFundMe up for $60,000. Well, she has spoken out since they took the children away, since she was arrested. And hubby states he had no idea about it, and that everyone that is accusing him of being a part of it will soon find out. So fuck off. Those were his words. But here's hers.
624, a new bill has been filed by a Republican state lawmaker concerning illegal immigration in Tennessee. Jaxie explains the.
Sorry, that was the wrong one. I don't know if I can find that one. I apologize. But she comes on to say that she can't talk about it at this moment, and that the authorities, the people who are in charge, are handling it. And they ask, why would you do this to your child? Like I said, I can't talk about it right now. This is going on in the UK, but all the children are safe. She has been arrested. They are doing their investigation. But Daddy Brock, I don't care. You were there to protect your kids. Now, I don't know. Did he know? Did he know she was doing this? Because, see, there was a GoFundMe for $60,000. Since then, it has been frozen. No access to it. She was doing pretty good off this. Millions of followers. So many people were doing fundraisers, and everything. And if you go on TikTok and you watch these videos of her in other places, she might even be on Instagram, you will see there's not one tear that comes out. Not one tear comes out. And it's sad. And I sit back and I think about, I remember seeing the movie with Gypsy Rose, the child that played her and everything. I remember seeing that movie, or the documentary, whichever you want to call it. And I remember thinking, how could a mother do that to her child? I couldn't imagine. And then Gypsy didn't even know how old she was until she did. And a lot of people are hard on Gypsy Rose. A lot of people are hard on her because she reverted as to murdering her mother and having someone enlisted into it. I'll keep my thoughts to myself on that one. And now Gypsy's having her own child. The question is, I don't know if Gypsy's went through therapy. I have no idea. I'm not even going to speculate about that. I don't know. But the abuse, I still carry things that happened to me in my lifetime. But I've learned to have a toolbox and to grab those tools and to use them when I need to keep me grounded, to keep me leveled. And maybe she's doing that. But I do see that she gets a lot of hate, and she's got a daughter coming. I just got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of trouble headed her way. Her divorce was final to Ryan on December 9th. So now she'll be able to get married to Ken. And she's having this beautiful little girl. So, I wish nothing but the best for her. And I hope she does right by this child. And I hope she stays in therapy. Because everybody else knows when you're a mother and you have a newborn, who's to say this doesn't trigger some things in her mind? Anything's possible. So it's just really sad that a mother would go to those lengths to do that with her child, that little girl. Which she's doing better now. She's alert, and she's not seizing. She's doing really good. But the scars that this child's going to have her entire life, and just knowing what your mother did to you. That is sickening. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you mothers? I don't get it. It's crazy. It is crazy. Um, let's see. Let's see. I was going to show you a video. I live in Tennessee, and this is about an hour and 45 minutes from me. This is Irwin, Tennessee. And they were part of that got affected by the hurricane as well as North Carolina. Well, here's a little clip of what the devastation looks like at the aftermath of Irwin, Tennessee. I mean, that's isn't it crazy? Well, people have been making these tiny homes for the people in North Carolina who are homeless because DCS, it is true, is coming in, taking children. Red Cross pulled out, and I know they're supposed to help put placement, but they're gone. FEMA's got their little thing set up. I'm going to have a great group of ladies on tomorrow night that are boots on the ground in North Carolina that actually, Miss Sarah, Miss Sarah has been boots on the ground. She has been working hard at it, delivering supplies and doing the things that need to be done. But she also has other information and ideas. Look up Manhattan Project. Okay, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Look up the Manhattan Project. Is it possible that something like that took place? Weather modification. Anytime you talk about it, you get taken down. But how does a hurricane go in the mountains? How does a hurricane go in the mountains? And these people, they're living in tents and it's freezing. But people have been building these tiny homes for individuals. Well, now the state has come in, and this is what they're doing now with the people who have the tiny homes.
And all these groups are coming down here, and it's a nice thought. Yeah. And they're building these tiny homes that don't have to be inspected, so it's a shed with an outlet.
They do have to be inspected. We're finding that out. And in fact, we had a person to donate 100 of them down in Barnesville, and we got 25 of them put up, for people to live in, and which was better than the dirt.
Well, of course.
And so they were living in them, and the county comes in and says they won't pass inspection. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So we got 75 of them sitting down there that won't, that we can't do nothing with.
And we know I know like volunteers that have been coming in like every other week, every weekend, things like that are coming back, and they're bringing all this material, all these tools. They've got like already kits pretty much cut out.
Yeah.
To just put them together real quick, and I'm like, I've tried to tell them like people are not going to be able to live in these, and it's like maybe one person could live in there. Yeah. And it's not living.
It's better than a tent. I mean,
it is better than a tent for sure.
So now they don't want to let them live in the tiny homes, but they are inspected. They're making it so difficult for these families they're trying so hard to hold on to their heritage, their property, their home. The only place they've ever known, and there are people that don't have family and don't have their family is gone. Most people in the Appalachian Mountains, and in these cities, like myself in Tennessee, your family lives a lot of times in the same county that you live in. A lot of your immediate family does. And when something like this happens, it completely took out towns. And when I say that, don't think that it just took out the buildings, the cars, the gas stations. It took the people too. And tomorrow night, we're going to talk more about exactly the numbers and how they are downplaying the death rate, the death toll of what we're dealing with here. You guys got to tune in tomorrow night. The ladies be here, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to say the least. But this stuff, it's got to stop. And nobody's helping except the American people. They're banding together, doing what needs to be done. There are chemicals that are there. I get that. People's boots are melting off. People are getting sick, actually. People are getting sick. They have a cough. They don't know what's wrong with them. Congestion. So it's very sad. I don't even think anyone's done a reading to see if there's any radiation in the air. I haven't seen any reports of that. So keep people in the prayers in North Carolina and South Carolina, because this is something that's going to affect them for years to come. And will they rebuild? I don't think you can rebuild. I think it's contaminated, truthfully. I think the ground is contaminated, and I think it was purposely done, but we'll get into that tomorrow night. I won't get into that tonight, but tomorrow night we'll get into that, and we'll go further and we'll deep dive in it, and we'll figure it out and see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot to take in with that. A lot. Remember Daniel Payne? He was the guy who was he's the ex-Marine student, excuse me, that was on the subway, and he was protecting people, and he ended up putting a guy in a chokehold. Well, here's his interrogation video.
Daniel? Yep. I'm Detective McCarthy. I'm Detective Medina. I actually work here. This is where you're at right now.
Cool.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Okay. Very good. Very good. I'm doing well.
Yeah,
you served in the Marine Corps now?
I did, yes.
I served in the Marine Corps.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Got my little death before the sun attached.
There you go. Nice, man.
What you doing? What was your MOS in the middle?
I was in 0351.
I was an 0331.
Oh, cool. Michigan. Yeah,
Yeah.
weapons platoon.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I was not military, so I don't know what that stuff is.
It's like another language.
3rd Battalion, 6th Marines.
Okay, there you go.
So,
36.
96 to 2000.
Nice, man.
Two med floats. Did my thing, and then I ended up here. Now I got close to 22 years here now, man.
Good pension coming up.
Yeah, man.
I grew up in Queens as well.
Nice, nice.
Nice. That's good, Daniel. Anyway, listen, Daniel. So we want to talk to you about what happened today.
Sure.
Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah.
And being cooperative.
Absolutely.
And hoorah, serving in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
But anyway, before we speak to you about today, we have to read you your rights.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm going to read you your rights. After each question, I'm going to say, do you understand? Say yes or no in a loud, clear voice. You got to say yes or no. You can't just nod your head. I got to hear it, okay?
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent and refuse to answer questions. Do you understand?
I understand.
Anything you do say may be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
I understand.
You have the right to consult an attorney before speaking to the police and to have an attorney present during any questioning now or in the future. Do you understand?
I understand.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you without cost. Do you understand?
I understand.
If you do not have an attorney available, you have the right to remain silent until you've had an opportunity to consult with one. Do you understand?
I understand.
Now that I've advised you of your rights, are you willing to answer questions?
Yes.
Okay. So, kind of run with me and Detective Medina, the course of your day, where you're coming from, where you're going, and then what led up to, the incident on the train.
Absolutely. So I have class down in Brooklyn. I take the F down to J Street Metro Tech. My class was at 12. So once the class finished up, I was going straight to the gym. I go to the gym in Lifetime on 23rd Street. So I get off, I take the F straight from school to the gym. Was on there. I forget what stop it was at, but some guy came in. He's like, whipped his jacket off, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill everybody. I can go to prison forever. I don't care. I don't do this." At that point, I looked to the person next to me like, "Hey, just hang on to this phone for me." I had my headphones in and took it off, and just kind of like grabbed him from behind because he came in, just to because he was acting like a lunatic, like a crazy person. So, and he was rolling around the floor, and at that point the train stopped. I was like, "Someone call the cops," and he's still like rolling around, still going crazy. Had two other guys kind of help me, just kind of keep him from going nuts, and yeah, that's when you guys came.
Okay.
Did he seem like he was on something? Did he
Yeah,
seem
absolutely.
intoxicated, high?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that K2 that they're smoking, pushing people in front, like these people are going crazy. So
he seemed off his lid, basically.
A little bit, yeah.
Now explain the interaction you had with him.
So I came up, he had his back turned to me, and I just kind of got him in a hold, got him to the ground. He's still like squirming around and still, going crazy. And I turned to a guy, I'm like, "Hey, call the cops," because the train arrived in Broadway.
Yeah.
And and then waited for you guys.
Okay.
Daniel, you said it's Daniel, right?
Yes, correct.
Do you mind showing me?
Sure, yeah.
You got him?
Yeah, so he was standing behind me, and I kind of came like this.
Okay. Did
And
you
then-
apply pressure, Daniel?
No, I did. I wasn't. I just wanted to keep him from getting to people.
Did you put your hooks in?
Yeah, wrap my legs.
Did you learn the jiu-jitsu from the Marine Corps?
I did, yes.
You learned how to grapple in the Marine Corps. What belt level you made it to?
Green.
Green belt?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
It was alright. I was a little bit, yeah, I should have went higher. You know,
Should have applied yourself more, huh?
yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right?
So he says, you know, if I don't get this, I'm going to kill everyone. Something
Go
to
to
that.
jail forever,
Yeah.
I'm willing to.
Is it at that point that's when you get up and decide to put him in the hold?
After
Because it looks
just-
like a sleeper hold to me, like
Right,
something
yeah.
similar to like.
I'm not trying to, I'm not
No.
trying to, kill the guy.
Right.
I'm just trying to de-escalate the situation, right?
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Daniel, not a sleep hold, but would you say what you put him in, because I do take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu myself, I've been taking it for many years, would you say that was considered a rear naked choke?
I mean, I don't train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm not.
But in the Marine Corps, is that considered a rear naked choke?
I don't know what you would call that, no. I'm not sure.
Because I noticed that you put it around my neck and then you closed from behind.
I would have had it on the back of his head. I didn't press forward.
You didn't press forward.
I noticed when you were doing it to him too. You went to go put your legs around him.
I
too.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I held my legs so because if you're flopping around and stuff, you can easily get out of that if you don't lock it.
You did that to control him in place.
That's correct.
Explain to me what made you want to get involved? What made you?
Well, I mean,
interested?
he's threatening people,
Mhm.
and I'm not confrontational. Not a confrontational guy. In the Marine Corps, I felt the need to step in.
Yeah.
There's women, children on the train. I'm sure there's ladies there that will vouch for me, and.
He felt like he was threatening other people. You felt like.
Oh, he was absolutely.
Did you feel like someone's life was in danger?
100%.
Did anybody else hold him down?
Yeah, there was 2 other guys that were helping. As soon as those guys came in and were holding his arms, then I kind of let up.
You let him go.
That's correct.
And when you let him go, what happened? What do you remember?
It was just.
Was he still moving? Was he still saying anything?
Yeah, he was moving a bit, and I was worried that he would go again. So I was telling those guys hey, make sure you keep hanging on to him.
So the 3 of you holding him down, or just the 2 other gentlemen?
Just the 2 other guys were hanging on to him.
And how long did they hold him down? They were holding him down by the arms?
Yeah, by the arms.
How long were they holding him down before the cops got there?
Like I said, man, it's you're exerting energy at
The
that point.
adrenaline is going, right?
Right.
And then it's like fight or flight, everything's going,
That's correct.
You lose track of time.
Yep.
I understand. At any given time, did you reapply any kind of holds on him once you let him go, or that was it?
No.
You got
That was it.
And what do you remember from there? Explain to me now.
Just the cops came and that was it. I got him.
Okay. When the cops came, what was he doing?
He was just on the ground.
Was he saying anything? Was he? No.
I'm trying to all these people are filming and shit and they're I don't know.
Okay. Anything else you remember, Daniel, from this interaction? Anything else that was said? Anybody else say anything to you?
I mean, everyone on the train was. I asked a few people hey, stick around when the cops come, just so, and they were like, yeah, well, and the people were thanking me and stuff because he was. I wasn't I'm not trying to. Like I said, I'm not a confrontational guy, and I'm not out here trying to attack people. It's not me, not how I was trained.
Yeah.
I just felt the need that this guy was saying that he's going to kill people, that he was prepared to go to jail for life. I hear that, and I'm like.
But he was making enough of a scene that you noticed him, and then you probably would have noticed if he put his hands on someone.
But I didn't.
Okay, all right, that's fine. And then once he starts doing that, that's when you try to subdue him.
Yes, I'm not. I wasn't trying to injure him.
Right.
I'm just trying to keep him from hurting anybody else. He's threatening people. That's what we learned in the Marine Corps. That's what you guys learn as police officers. It's the same thing if you're off duty. You're gonna intervene in a situation where it's.
Yeah. I hadn't seen his whole entire interview, and he did nothing wrong. He tried to save people. And I believe this administration wanted to use this like they did January 6th to put fear into people that if you fought back, because they knew these illegals coming over the border were going to start some shit. And they say, well, the crime rates, there's more crime with Americans and white people than there are any. Well, no, that's because back in 2016, Obama wanted the year of 2021 to go into effect to where they switched, the FBI switched to a whole different database. You can look this up. And they were to report, that point it was to change, and they were to report and have that system set in place. Well, over 49% of the FBI buildings, they did not have this implemented. So how can you put out crime statistics and the truth if you don't even have the program that you're supposed to be using to keep up with it? Because see, they don't want you to know the crime that's going on with these illegals. We've seen that with Laken Riley. Yeah, he was found guilty, but life in prison, and a mother has to deal the rest of her life without her daughter. She was stolen from her, and to see his demeanor when the guilty version, I actually went back and watched that video probably 10 different times, and I was watching his breathing, I was watching his chest, I was watching his features, I was watching to see at the moment they'd said he was guilty, did he breathe faster? Did he stay the same? No emotion, motionless, zero. And you watch the security video footage, he set out that day. Look, he may have been, and I'm going to tell you, this is not the first time this man's done this. He's from another country. I guarantee you he's done this numerous times in another country. I guarantee you. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's escaped or something, because I say that because there's no database connected to other countries, which I find kind of, why isn't there? Why is all the technology we have, we can't have a database? If I'm here, you can do NCIC and you can find out in any other state anything I've done. In certain other countries, there are things, but you have to wait for a bowl to go out. You have to wait for so much. But why isn't there a system in place to where it is connected to these countries? You're opening our border and you're allowing anybody in. And you're keeping the numbers low because, well, we can't have the illegals look bad. Well, I can't wait till Trump does do his deportation period. Hey, if you come through here the legal way, because there are people right now that are here that have been fighting for years to become legal. They have children, they have wives, and they have paid the money. It's expensive. That shit ain't cheap. It is costly, very costly. But can you guys believe that they overturned Jussie Smollett's conviction? Can you guys believe that?
Breaking just now, the Illinois Supreme Court on overturning actor Jussie Smollett's conviction on allegations that he had staged a racist and homophobic attack against himself in downtown Chicago in 2019 and lied to police. Just a little color from his attorney in a statement to Fox saying, quote, "This was not a prosecution based on facts. Rather, it was vindictive persecution, and such a proceeding has no place in our criminal justice system." That breaking just now. We will have more on that throughout the day.
Look, I believe you knew what you was doing. The proof is there. But you whined because you were put in prison and you didn't want to do the time. So of who you are, your status, your stance, or he's singing like a birdie. He is in the entertainment business. Maybe he knows some shit on the Diddy case. Maybe he knows people above Diddy. Maybe he knows, because see, Diddy's not the big guy. Epstein wasn't the big guy. There's still a big guy. I promise you. He was just one of the bigger handlers. Epstein, Ghislaine, they were handlers. Then you had Diddy. He was a handler, but he had the ability to move it. He had the ability to traffic it because of who he was. So who is the big guys? That's why you'll never see the list. You'll never see those lists because they're still trying to get the big guys. And if that's what it takes to get the big guys to hold it till you can get it, and you're doing it for that reason, do it. Get them. I'm glad we got Pam Boone in there. But I think this bullshit with Jussie Smollett, I think that's bullshit. I just think that's bullshit. He was convicted, but we have to trust our justice system the way it is. However screwed up it is, we have to go by it. And see what they did to Trump for so many years. Here's a young lady who is upset because her child came home with a book.
Guess what my 5th grader brought home today? That is correct. They stopped the entire class to pass out Bibles to everybody. So it's beginning. Where do I go from here?
What's beginning? What's beginning? I would like to know, though, if you guys feel that it's appropriate to pass out the Bible at school. I mean, she could have just threw it away. She could have just done what she wanted to do with it. Me personally, I think you should have the Word of God everywhere. Because there's going to come a day where we're going to fight tooth and nail because that's our sword. There's going to come a day where they will be very scarce. In China, I've seen many videos. One of the pastors had a documentary because I watch a lot of the Christian stations, and a suitcase of the King James Version of the Bible somehow was delivered over there in a suitcase. I believe one of the missionaries took it over there. And to see the hunger in these individuals when they opened that suitcase and the Holy Bible was in there, the hunger they had and the care they took of that word. I mean, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But like I said earlier, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But the liberals, okay, we had the 4B movement where the women were shaving their heads. Not going to give their hubbies no sex. They were going to get fat. They were going to do all this stuff. Well, now there's going to be another movement. There's going to be another movement, and it's going to be breaking up marriages, and it's going to be putting preconceived ideas in people's minds. This is what when fellow liberal says will be happening.
8:20 Wednesday morning on another absolutely beautiful, glorious day in the United States of America. Anyway, I did a duet of a video a little bit ago this morning from the official gay guy, and he just had words on the screen. Is now the time when we start leaving notes, handwritten notes, in like women's handwriting, that just say, I'm pregnant, call me, leaving those notes on motor vehicles that have Trump support, Trump stickers on them. And I was thinking about that a little bit, and I think, yeah, it really, really is time to do that. It really is time to do that. And so I think for women throughout the United States, just keep like a dozen handwritten notes in your glove box on which you've written, I'm pregnant, call me. Just keep like a dozen of those in your glove box ready to go at any given time. And then when you're out and about and you see a car that has a Trump sticker on it, just slide one of those right underneath the front windshield wiper. I mean, if that's not guerrilla warfare tactics, I don't know what is. We won't be able to see much of the fallout from that, but I guarantee you some people on the receiving end of those notes are going to make some TikToks about it, as will their wives or girlfriends. And think how much fun that will be. You can ruin the holidays of Trump supporters that you're not even related to. If that's not a win-win, I don't know what is. So women across the United States of America, just sit down and write 12 or 15 little handwritten notes that say, I'm pregnant, call me. Keep them in your car, and when you're out and about, you see a car with a Trump sticker, just slide one of those right underneath the front windshield wiper. Yeah.
That's their new movement. Break marriages up. Which, ladies, how, who comes up with this shit? And how can you be so evil to want to do that and hate? I don't get it. I mean, well, I mean, I do. I mean, you got good and evil. It's a spiritual warfare, spiritual battle, and this is part of it. And this is what they're doing now. So now they want to make women believe that their husbands have impregnated another woman, and they need to call that woman. So be mindful, ladies. Be mindful that liberals are starting some shit. They got their 4B movement. They got now, let's break up marriages, let's lie, let's cheat, let's steal. That is their motto. That is what a Democrat does. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say all of them do, because I do have some friends who are Democrats, and they're entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to their beliefs. But that is malicious. That's being malicious. That's being evil. That is setting out to cause harm. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that at all. At all. Well, hopefully this little piece I'm going to play for you from Jeff Probst will light a fire under your ass. If you've been getting complacent lately after the election and felt okay, if you were like myself and millions of others, putting the truth out there and continuously doing the things that need to be done with the news and the truth, our battle's just begun. It's not over. We'll listen to a little bit of what Jeff had to say. And when he spoke about this, I could relate to it. And I was like, you know what? This is just the beginning.
Let me ask you a question. This is a question from MAGA out there. And I know there's a lot of new people in the movement, so I got a question for you. Do you think this movement takes days off? Do you think that you get to sit there and wait for the returns to come in and kick back and say, oh, CNN says we're up and Fox says we're up and we win Pennsylvania and everything's going to be great. It's all going to be good now. Everything's done. Our enemies are just going to lie over and we've defeated everyone and it's all done. Is there anyone out there within the sound of my voice that actually believes that? Like, have you been paying attention? Because some of you are around here, and for some of you, it's your first day. And so I want to...
And he goes on, you guys got to watch Jeff. He is awesome. Awesome. It's a smart man. He goes on to talk about people who are new. And we have to help the people who are awakened now. Remember how you were when you first woke up and didn't know what to trust or what to believe, and everything you had been told was a lie, and the way you had been told was a lie. And seeing news media outlets, telling you for so long, Trump's bad. He's going to do this. He's going to cause destruction. And these people truly believed it. They truly believed every word of it. And you believed it because the news, the media, you believed it because they were paid to set that propaganda, to set that narrative, to push the agenda at the time that needed to be pushed. They were paid. If you go look in the infrastructure bill that Biden Harris pushed, within it is millions and millions of dollars to be given to the news media outlets. And when Trump started and he said the fake news, that's the truth. That is the truth. The fake news. Because that's what they do. They push it. And this gentleman, I don't know who he is, but he hits the nail on the head when he speaks about the media. And if, just like Jeff was talking about, Jack was talking about, so many people are still curious. They're woke. They're waking up. And they're babies still, trying to find their way, trying to understand, how could this happen? How could our government hate us so much? They went from believing and trusting to what's real anymore. And this was a lesson I had to learn the last few weeks, because I kind of took time off, and I started realizing after I listened to him, the battle's just begun, and God needs his soldiers to keep fighting the good fight. But now it's kind of like he has us as warriors, as shepherds, to watch over the flocks in order to teach them the right way, because they are yearning for information. They're yearning for the truth. And this gentleman right here simply spoke facts. And this would explain to you why you believed it and why you feel the way you do.
To those who are mad at MSNBC and other news stations flip-flopping all of a sudden, trying to play nice with Trump, all of you are saying the same thing. You're confused because these news stations told you that Donald Trump was a misogynist, that he was a fascist, that he was a racist, that he wants to destroy the world, that he wants to turn you all into slaves. The reason why you are so confused right now about their flip-flopping ways is because they lied to you. How could you deem someone a threat to all Americans, but then all of a sudden you're saying, we should play nice with them? This is because your news stations lied to you. All of the left-leaning news stations lied to you and told you what they wanted you to hear. They programmed you guys to have fear. They programmed you guys to hate. You guys are saying it yourselves, but you're not putting two and two together. They lied to you so that they can pass their agenda. They knew that Donald Trump was really going to do the things that he said he was going to do to expose the evil and the corruption and the deep state. Now that they see that he won, they're trying to cuddle up to him so that they can keep their jobs. A lot of these news stations are about to shut down. A lot of these news stations are in danger. A lot of these people who spread lies for years and years and years are now about to get exposed, which is why they're afraid every time Donald Trump picks a new cabinet member. Each time he picks a new cabinet member, they see their jobs and their lives going downhill because they know that the truth is going to come out and all the lies that they told are going to come out. And it's going to make a lot of the Democratic supporters very upset. So when you see these news stations flip-flopping and all of a sudden wanting to be nice to Donald Trump, remember, put two and two together. They lied to you. And now that they are in the position that they are in, they know that their jobs and their livelihoods are on the line because they spent so much time tricking you into hating. I hope that this reaches whoever it needs to reach. I hope that it blesses you. I hope that it opens your eyes, and I hope that you start to see the truth. God bless.
He's right on the money. He's right on the money. Open your eyes Everyone, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. That's the end of our show. I appreciate you guys. Friday's tomorrow, the end of the work week for some, for many. I want everyone to have a blessed Friday. Be safe. Please like, follow, and share. And as always, everyone, stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Pray for our country. Pray for Trump. Because the battle is just begun. And with everything, country crazy out.